The next issue which we need to deal with on change in profit sharing ratio among the existing partners is revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities. So in this section, we will learn the two methods of revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities and when to use which method. First, let's see what the meaning of revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities is and why we need to treat this. All the assets are revalued and the liabilities are reassessed at the time of change in profit sharing ratio. So in case any asset is not shown at the correct value or any liability is not shown at the correct value, they will be brought down to the correct values at the time of change in profit sharing ratio. And any resultant gain or loss after this exercise will be credited or debited to partners in old profit sharing ratio. And why is this necessary? The reason is because any increase or decrease in the value of assets and liabilities is for the period prior to the change in profit sharing ratio. And if as a result of the change in profit sharing ratio, any partner gains or sacrifices, he should not be put to undue advantage or disadvantage. So this is why treatment of revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities is necessary at the time of change in profit sharing ratio among the existing partners. Let's see the two methods and when to use each of these two methods. There are two methods in treating this. Method 1 is used when revised values of assets and liabilities are to be recorded in the books. That is, in the reconstituted balance sheet which is prepared after taking into effect the change in profit sharing ratio among the existing partners. If the assets and liabilities are to be valued at their revalued figures, then method 1 is to be used. On the other hand, method 2 is used when revised values of assets and liabilities are not to be recorded in the books. This means that in the reconstituted balance sheet which is prepared after taking into effect the change in profit sharing ratio among the existing partners, if the assets and liabilities are to be shown at their original values, then we will take up method 2. Now that we know when to use each of the methods, we'll go into detail into method 1 and method 2. We'll begin with method 1. So we said that this method is followed when the revised values of assets and liabilities are to be recorded in the books. Now, any increase or decrease in the value of assets and liabilities under this method is recorded through what is called revaluation account or profit and loss adjustment account. This is a nominal account and it will be debited with expenses and losses and credited with incomes and gains. Loss happens when there is an increase in a liability or decrease in the value of asset, and a gain happens when there is an increase in the value of asset or decrease in the value of liability. So the revaluation account needs to be debited when there is an increase in the value of liability or decrease in the value of asset, and the revaluation account needs to be credited when there is an increase in the value of asset and decrease in the value of liability. So let's see this in detail. We'll see the journal entry to be passed. For increase in the value of assets, we need to credit the revaluation account and we need to debit the asset, the specific asset whose value has increased, and pass the entry asset account debit to revaluation account. For all decrease in value of assets, we need to debit the revaluation account and credit the specific asset account. For all increase in the value of liabilities, we need to debit the revaluation account and credit the specific liability account. For all decrease in the value of liabilities, we need to debit the liability account and credit the revaluation account. To bring an unrecorded asset into existence, we need to debit that unrecorded asset and credit the revaluation account. To bring an unrecorded liability into existence, we need to debit the revaluation account and credit the liability account. A gain happens when the total of the credit side is greater than the debit side. And in such a case, the journal entry passed is revaluation account debit to partner's capital or current account. The gain on revaluation will be transferred to the partner's capital account in the case of fluctuating capital method and partner's current account in the case of fixed capital method in their old profit sharing ratio. On the other hand, where there is a loss on revaluation of assets and liabilities, the partner's capital account or current account is debited and the revaluation account is credited with the amount of the loss. And this loss will be debited to partner's capital account or current account in their old profit sharing ratio. So these are the journal entries that need to be passed. For any increase or decrease in value of assets and any increase or decrease in value of liabilities, for unrecorded assets, for unrecorded liabilities, and resultant gain or loss on revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities. Next, we'll see the revaluation ledger account. As we already saw, the revaluation account, being a nominal account, is debited with losses and credited with gains. So we'll see the debit side of the revaluation account first. We will write to asset account for decrease in the value of asset, to liability for increase in the value of liability. For unrecorded liability, again we will write to liability account. All gains will be credited to the revaluation account. Increase in the value of asset is a gain. By liability for decrease in the value of liability, and for bringing an unrecorded asset into existence by asset account. Now there's a gain if the total of the credit side is greater than the debit side, in which case this gain on revaluation will be transferred to the partner's capital or current accounts in their old profit sharing ratio. Here I have assumed two partners, A and B. The gain will be divided among A and B in their old profit sharing ratio. On the other hand, where the debit side is greater than the credit side, we will get a loss on revaluation of assets and liabilities, which will again be transferred to partners' capital accounts or current accounts in OPSR or the old profit sharing ratio. So again here I have divided the loss among two partners A and B in their old profit sharing ratio. So this method needs to be followed when the revised value of assets and liabilities are to be recorded in the books. So on preparing the reconstituted balance sheet, the new value or the revalued amount of asset and the revalued amount of liability will be shown in the balance sheet. Let's go to method 2. Method 2 is used when the revised values of assets and liabilities are not to be shown in the balance sheet. that is in the reconstituted balance sheet that is prepared after taking into effect the change in profit sharing ratio among the existing partners, all assets and liabilities are to be shown at their original values. Now the first step under this method is to ascertain the gain or loss on revaluation. The formulae for ascertaining the gain or loss on revaluation is to add the following: increase in value of assets, decrease in value of liabilities, and unrecorded asset, and to deduct from this amount the following: decrease in value of assets, increase in value of liabilities, and unrecorded liabilities. If the resultant figure is a positive figure, it implies gain or revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities. And if the resultant figure is a negative figure, it implies a loss. The next step is to ascertain the gain or sacrifice of each partner. All we need to do is do old share minus new share. A positive figure will imply a sacrifice by that partner, and a negative figure will imply a gain by that specific partner. For any gain on revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities, the journal entry is as follows. We will debit the gaining partner's capital or current account and credit the sacrificing partner's capital or current account. The amount is equal to the gain on revaluation into the share of gain or sacrifice of each partner. Share of gain in the case of a gaining partner and share of sacrifice in the case of the sacrificing partner. Narration: being gain on revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities adjusted amongst partners' capital or current accounts. Now, if there's a loss on revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities, the journal entry is as follows. We will debit the sacrificing partner's capital or current account and credit the gaining partner's capital or current account. And the amount to be debited or credited to these partners' capital accounts is equal to the amount of the loss on revaluation into or multiplied by the share of gain in the case of the gaining partner or the share of sacrifice in the case of the sacrificing partner. Narration: being loss on revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities adjusted amongst the partners' capital accounts. So in this video, we learnt why revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities is necessary, the fact that there are two methods, and we learnt when to use each of these two methods, and discussed in detail method 1 and method 2. In the upcoming video, we will be solving sums relating to this concept where both method 1 and method 2 will be discussed.